Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
Good evening. What up? It's your man, Kalen Laws. Make sure you follow me at SeniorWapo713 on all social media outlets. Welcome to G is for Gentlemen here on the Sphere.tv. Listen, I got some good news and some bad news. And let's just start with the bad news. My brother from another style mother, Regis Devonish, will not be here today. But, you know, it's okay. Because here at G is for Gentlemen, we are always prepared. That is a hallmark of a true gentleman, of a true man, is to be prepared. And listen, I got a great co-host with me today. My other brother, the godfather to my daughter. I was about to say godmother.
Yeah, right,
I did it on my other show. The godfather to my daughter. My man B. What up, man?
What's up, boy? You good?
I'm well. How can they get in contact with you?
They can reach me on Instagram at realbmont, BMONT. Got to figure out how to spell my name.
Yeah, how about it? But it's okay. It's all good, man. So I have an exciting show. We have an exciting show today, man. I'm super happy that you're here, brother.
Man, blessed to be here, man.
Listen, let's do it. So let's just dive in, like Trey Songz said.
Let's go.
All right.
Hey.
So let me ask you a question, though.
Yes, sir.
So in your career, you've been on the private side, working for large firms and large organizations, working in the telecommunication, in the communication space and entertainment. But you recently transitioned, because your heart has always been here,
yes, sir.
into mentoring and into working with youth and developing them as leaders, right?
Yeah.
So why, in your experience in both those sectors, the private sector in terms of business and then also in dealing with these young people, why is it important, to, especially for the young brothers, to be and to understand how to be a man of style and culture?
Simple. Perception is power. Perception is power. When people see you, they don't have the time to try to disseminate, okay, what type of person is he? What type of character does he have? All I have in the first 15, 20 seconds that you may be passing by or actually, in my sphere of influence, that I can see what's going on with you is your image.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so your image says a lot about who you are as a person.
Right.
We've all been in situations where we've seen somebody one day and we've seen them dress kind of down or dress kind of bad. I don't know what you consider bad, and then you see them another day. It's like, oh, your whole perception of that person changes.
Yeah.
And you see their image change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, especially for young brothers, we already get stereotyped as it is. And so to be able to go out and put your best foot forward at all times, represent yourself in the way that you want to be received, is very important.
See, I think that's key, man. You said represent yourself in the way that you want to be perceived. As you know, I guess we're getting closer to being elder statesmen now. We ain't old, but we're closer to 40 than we are to 20. And so
I'm not.
Knock it off. You older than me. And so I think that having that conversation is key, right? As gentlemen, as men,
right.
We have to be able to convey that you our royalty to our little brothers, right? Our kingship, and to be able to look like that, right?
Right.
But even if you take it beyond, because here at GS for Gentlemen, we love to go beyond style. Style is the thread that weaves it all together, but
Right.
that's just more to it. In terms of being cultured, right? You're a well-traveled young man. You dabble in the arts. A lot of people don't know that you play a few instruments and you sing.
I know like 3 songs.
Yeah, but
That's
you play them. No, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why is being cultured important as well?
I mean, being cultured brings a level of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
If you only know one specific thing, it's almost like that saying, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so when you're cultured, you get to experience other things from other people, other nationalities, other ethnicities, other levels of style. And it helps to add to your overall style. It helps to add to your overall culture. It helps to add to just what you know.
Yeah.
You know, if back in the day, everybody used to wear baggy shirts, long white tees with the crease down the middle. If you're from Texas, long white tees with the crease down the middle.
Yeah, we did.
Stay flow jeans.
Come
you
on.
know what I'm saying? Because everybody did that, and that's all we knew.
Right.
And it wasn't until later on people started to introduce a different way to dress. You see the long tees going away. You see the nice fitted jeans coming in. You see Chelsea boots. You see this. You see.
Right.
So the more culture that you have, the more you can add to who you are as a person, your brand, so to speak, as well as your style.
Yeah.
The more you see people doing certain things and doing it in a different way than what you're normally used to seeing, the more you can add a little bit of that, which creates the totality of who you can become.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen. Look. Here's just for gentlemen. We like to tell it to you how it is
Yes,
and
sir.
talk
Yes,
about
sir.
that real. So
Yes, sir.
listen, no, you guys, Brandon is gonna stay with us throughout the entire show. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So let's just jump in. So, B, we like to go with the news and let's talk about this. I'm not sure if have you ever heard? I don't know. Have you ever heard of this designer called named Michael Kors?
I think I have.
As you look at your wrist.
I
So
have,
that was fun. That was all right. That was fun. So Michael Kors has entered into an agreement actually to buy Jimmy Choo for, let me get the number right, $1.2 billion.
Hold up.
Yeah.
That's what a
B. That's what a B, right?
That's
$1.2 billion, right? On Tuesday, Michael Kors Holdings said it had agreed to buy the shoe company Jimmy Choo for 896 million pounds, or about $1.2 billion. The latest push by an American high-end fashion house to find new sources of growth, and what its chief executive characterized as the first step in building a bigger international luxury group. Okay, So the backstory is, we were talking before the show. A lot of upscale designers, luxury designers, are being undercut right now by fast fashion, right? By your Zara's and your Forever 21s and
even sales on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, all of these kind of things are undercutting them, and so it's cutting into the profit margin. And even still, I know you remember just 4 or 5 years ago, not even 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. Michael Kors exploded in the watch industry. He's been around forever. The designer's been around for decades.
Guys and women.
Exactly.
Were starting to rock
Exactly. And so it exploded in the watch industry, and then it kind of died down because people start seeing the designs and seeing kind of the technologies that they were using and kind of copying it and figuring out how to manufacture it a little bit less expensive, cheaper. And it undercut them. So a lot of people thought that Michael Kors was falling off. A true story, was in Nordstrom the other day, and looking at, my wife loves Michael Kors. She has, too many of them. And I was trying to find something that she didn't have, and I was like, "Yo, it's kind of lackluster now. I haven't seen.
Right.
I haven't seen." So I even fed into the hype that, the brand was kind of falling off, and then I get an email with this article like, "Yo, you got $1.2 billion." I don't think they fell off that far.
See, and here's another thing. We're talking about being culture. We're talking about exposure.
Yeah.
Michael Kors is a global brand. So what may have popped in the United States 5, 6, 7 years ago with their purses or with different things that they have on their line, it may be big somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't just have 1.2. I mean, I know they did good with their watches, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like you said, they also fell off a little bit after that. So that we're looking at what's happening with Michael Kors in the States.
Yeah, exactly.
And we
Great
forget
point.
That a lot of these brands are totally global. Like, you know, Nike, all these other places, they have so much play in so many other areas outside of the United States that it's not even funny.
Yeah, man. You're 100% right. I want to give a special shout out to all of our Facebook Live followers. What's up, Javante? Jay, look at Jay. He's trying to throw up the he throwing up he throwing up the yo and the mob at the same time. What's up, man? Showing love. Allison Bullock, we appreciate you. Laurenette Lewis,
Jay Grizzy,
Don Paul, Jada Harper. Thank you all so much for tuning in on Facebook Live. We want to shout you all out. But you're right, man. That's a great point, man. That's a really, really good point in that, you know, we're just kind of looking in our own backyard and not paying attention to you know what's going on around the world as it relates to Michael Kors. You know what's even more interesting, or to kind of continue the conversation about this whole venture, is that Jimmy Choo. A lot of people know who Jimmy Choo, what the brand represents, but they came actually to prominence because of Princess Diana.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Princess Diana was a big wearer of Jimmy Choo, and remember growing up, she was an icon. She is an icon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Beautiful lady who really embodied and personified royalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fit for a gentleman, a king, and she married, you know, into the family, and so she kind of put Jimmy Choo on the map, kind of in the popular culture, and then Sarah Jessica Parker.
Don't tell me the show.
What's the name of the show? My wife would kill me right now.
Don't tell me. Because Not Girlfriends, that was the BET version.
Yeah, that was the BET version. Sex in the City.
Sex in the City.
Wow.
We knew that.
We knew that.
We just wanted y'all to chime in
that's
first.
All
we knew
doing.
that.
That's all we were doing.
That.
And so from Sex in the City. And so you know, she started wearing them a lot, and then it got pushed here to our generation.
And you heard it in hip hop too. You know what I'm saying? We really don't understand or gravitate towards certain things until it's pushed to the masses. And what I mean by that is television, radio, movies, things like that. That's when, oh man, they rapping about Jimmy Choo. I gotta get, you know what I'm saying? That's when we glorify it.
Yeah, you're 100% right, man. You're 100% right. And so these big name folks who kind of would push Jimmy Choo to prominence. They've been around forever, but push them to prominence, and to be a part of a deal, right? For $1.2 billion. That kind of lets you know how large the textile industry is. So people call it the fashion industry, and it's not really the fashion industry. People aren't selling fashion; they're selling textiles. They're selling fabrics that we put on our bodies, right? They're selling cotton, and they slanging cotton, slanging silk, and denim, and whatever else. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, more importantly than that, they're selling an idea. They're selling an image. They're selling the thought of, if you wear this, you're going to be this type of person.
Yeah.
And so,
and you know, everybody's selling something, right?
Listen,
Everybody's selling something.
What 2 Chainz say? In this world, you either selling or you buying.
You selling or you buying, and that's a dope concept. In fact, this portion of the show is sponsored by KOG and Company.
You better get that plug in.
Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world?
You better get that plug in.
Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passion in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com, and use coupon code DOPE with an exclamation mark for 10% off of exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. Sizes are selling out fast. And so, you know, as we talk about, you know, you made a good point about how kind of, you know, you go to the club and you jamming and you hear the songs and they talking about the latest gear or a name you haven't known. Like, people really thought that Cristal just came about. Like, it's an 85-year-old brand. You know what I'm saying? You know, when they in a club, right? And it's interesting, talking about the club, B, I came across another article. So, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
How old?
I already know where you're going.
How old is too old to be in the club?
Woo!
How old is too old, B? You're 35. Are you too old?
It depends on what level of an answer you're looking for. If you're looking for
the right answer.
if you're looking just for a straight age, or you're looking for from a responsibility standpoint, if you're looking, I feel like it's too old to be in the club when your responsibilities outweigh the level of fun that you're trying to seek at that time. Yeah. Meaning, if you got 2-3 kids at home and you got some other stuff that you got to do tomorrow, you too old to be in the club. That could be 24. That could be 34. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I really don't think being in the club has a specific age limit, but I think the responsibilities that you carry wherever you are in life, that has a lot to do with your leisure time. Because at the end of the day, clubbing is all leisure. It's all fun. It's all hanging out. And some people will argue the fact that, well, you know, you got to unwind. You got to have a chance to relax. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you can unwind, you can relax, but if your responsibilities are a lot more demanding than the time you can spend at the club, then I feel like that's when you should kind of like, hey, man, I might need to chill out for a little bit.
Right.
But now, let's take the responsible answer away. let's just get real.
Let's be irresponsible for a second.
If you don't want to be that guy at the club walking around with drinks talking about, hey, what's going on, baby? Let me holler at you. Let me get your number.
That dude is a creeper.
You don't want to be that guy. So
that dude is a creeper.
If I had to pick an age for real, you can get away with it in your 30s. Mid-30s, but anything like 36 and up, it's kind of like, I mean, unless it's nothing but 30 plus, 35 plus at the club.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? Because there's different types of clubs, too.
Right.
I remember when I was in college, there was a specific club that we used to go to, nothing but grown folks. So I'm talking about we out there, Chicago stepping, I mean, all that other stuff. The young cats would go just to kind of see what the old school, the old heads were doing. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you go into a club where it starts at 18 and up, bro, your limit. When you reach your 30s, man, you need to start questioning, you know.
I got some bad news, man. I got some bad news. We have to say, well, before we say we don't have to say goodbye, but I want to ask you, and I want to thank all of our Facebook Live subscribers, and want to tell everybody to subscribe to our show on all the major platforms, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Review our show in iTunes with constructive feedback. We need that. Share this Facebook Live post and the entire show with your family and friends. Donate to our mission to bring enriched and inspiring content each and every week. You can donate at www.thesphere.tv/donate. We need your coin. Listen, we need your coin to help pushing this great content out. But you know, back to our discussion.
Let me ask you that question.
Go ahead.
What age do you feel is
you know?
Because everybody's going to be subjective, because there's going to be that 42-year-old that may be watching this like, hey, man, I'm going to the club this week. You know,
right.
I don't see a problem with it.
Right. I think in a traditional sense, I would agree with you. Mid-30s, you know, like I'm over the club. Like I don't even want to go.
Yeah, I'm actually. It's not even. I feel like I'm too old. It's the point of.
I don't want to go.
It's a production to go. Like before, at 10:30, 11:30, even 12 sometimes. Be at the house chilling.
I'm sleepy.
Pre-gaming. No, I'm talking
about
you
now.
Younger.
Yeah.
But now, if it's 10 something and you still talking about going somewhere, I'm at the point where I'm like, do I really have to go?
Yeah.
Like, can we just chill?
Table it and you know.
Yeah. I mean,
go get dinner tomorrow.
I got a wife and kids, man.
Fam.
So I got a business that I'm trying to run. So I can't. It's a lot.
It's a lot. So I would agree with you. Kind of the mid-30s, I think it starts to get like. There's a difference in my mind between a club and a lounge, somewhere you chill. Like a club is, you know, when you go up north, you can tell the difference between a club and a lounge. Lounge, you know, you got the pool tables. The music isn't like blaring. You can actually have a conversation, get a full meal. You know what I'm saying? But it's just kind of really laid back. I could do something like that because I can have a productive conversation about some productive things. You know, ain't nobody trying to stunt and do all of that. But a club, you know. After about that 32, 33, yeah, I'm good. Now, I will make an exception for certain events.
Yeah, birthdays.
So birthdays or New
people
Year's
coming in town. Yeah,
you know, going to Vegas,
town.
You know, a couple years back.
Let me ask you this question since we're on the club, because again, let's play advocate and say, for those people that do go to the club, since we're talking about style and things like that, what, in your opinion, should go into the mental psyche of someone getting ready to go to the club? Like, how is because everybody, you want to dress, we're talking about dress to impress and making
Right.
it at the beginning, the first segment was talking about culture and style and,
Right.
and what part that plays into men, women, whoever. So what is the mental psyche when you're getting ready to go out to a function such as, and it doesn't have to just be the club, when you're getting ready to go out to a specific function where you know there's going to be a lot of people, music, food, drink it, whatever.
Yeah. So my answer to you is, personally, and I think every gentleman, especially all of our viewers who are watching and our subscribers who are listening, that whenever you step out, you should endeavor to be the best dressed man in the building. Honestly, I step out to be the best dressed person in the building.
But when does it become from being the best dressed to crossing the line to, yo, that dude overdid it?
Well,
he's doing the most.
Yeah. I think it needs to be specific.
The cheetah scarf with the leopard shoes ain't working.
You have to be specific. You know what I'm saying? You have to be contextual. And we talked about that in our last show, in that, you don't want to, like going on a date to the movies in a 3-piece suit. Like, that's whack. You're overdoing it.
I know some guys that do it.
I do too. And they need to quit immediately. But you take into account your environment, where you're going, understanding the kind of the social norms, certain places, certain night spots. You put on a suit, depending on where you are. Like when you go to Vegas or you go to certain spots in Vegas, they want you to be in a jacket, or you can go to other spots.
That's a great point. Let me ask you this then.
Sure.
What do you do when you don't know? Because the first thing, if you're getting ready to go out, the first thing we'll do, call each other, hey, what you wearing?
Right.
That's the first thing people do. What you wearing? Because they don't want to be the only one dressing like, you know what I'm
whatever
saying?
they're dressing
so
like. So
what is the rule of thumb when you don't know what the attire is for where you're going? What is the rule of thumb?
It's really easy now. Go to the website. It's simple. This is not 1990 anymore, where there aren't. You know what I'm saying? 1985.
Look up on your chirp.
Yeah, it's you literally. Where you're going. Go to the website. Look at the pictures of the people that are on the website, the actual patrons. Okay, it's laid back. Cool. If they don't have a website, I question the business number in the first place. If they don't have a website, but number two, if they don't have a website or it's down, call them. It's the website maintenance. Call. Listen, what is the dress code? What Can I wear shoes? Can I wear sneakers?
Nobody does that. That's a good point. Nobody does that.
Call them if you're going out. People don't normally get to the club here in Texas till about 11 or so, because they close at 2. But
on the dot.
Yeah, on the dot. So right. So if you're going out, they're going to open at 9. Call them at 8:30 when they're setting up, and they'll be able to talk to you. Listen, what's the attire? Same thing for restaurants. Same thing for night out engagements. Call whoever's throwing the party or whoever's the host, or look at the invitation. But do whatever you have to do prior to that to figure out what it is you want to wear. Right. But let me go back to being too old in the club. So there are some folks that actually would kind of disagree with us.
I believe it wholeheartedly.
But there was a survey put out, right? 5,000 adults were surveyed on their nightclub habits and determined that 37 is the age your disco days must die. So after 37,
I can see that.
But check this out. I could too. I can get with that.
I can see that.
Almost 37% of respondents went as far as to describe the golden oldie cutting shapes as tragic. They said,
what you mean?
Like the person who they call the person who's in the club who's old, the golden oldie. And they said it's a tragic mistake.
Yeah, it is, man. You just don't want to do that. You don't want to be that guy or that girl.
Yeah, and they said that most listed the age of 31 to be the turning point that you start being like, okay.
That's what we said.
Yeah. So you're 30. So listen, all you old heads is out there trying to pick up these youngsters. Y'all stop, men and women. Like, go to the movies.
Listen, now, if you single and ready to mingle, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with a little sweet young tender. You know what I'm saying? But
as long as she's legal and consenting.
Yeah, we're not doing no Kellys. Look, but at the end of the day, I feel like I've always felt like club is where you go to enjoy yourself, to just kick back, have a good time. But if you're really looking for somebody, there's so many places you can find people outside of the club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're still that person that thinks I'm going to find my mate or my next boo at the club, it's kind of like we shouldn't even be talking to you about what age to stop going to the club in the first place.
Right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Whatever you're trying to find, sometimes the club isn't the spot. It can be, but sometimes it isn't the spot. But also, maybe you're a brand and you're trying to find some ad space somewhere, right? Well, this portion of the show is sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand and or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-722-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. So, you know, when you're trying to go out, man, you're advertising something when you try to go out. You're advertising what it is that you're selling based upon how you look, your actions, your mannerisms, the way you, how clean your shoes are, you know, how you match whatever you match, how you, the fragrance you're wearing, right, is an advertisement. In fact, I think that we should put a pin in that right there, right, about fragrances, because fragrances is kind of a lost art, man, nowadays. People think you're just supposed to.
I would absolutely agree with that, bro.
Drown, or they do the you spread in the air and you walk into it. Like, stop, like no, right? You need to understand what fragrances really are.
Fragrance, and the way you wear fragrance, I would say, would lead back to tradition. What I mean by that is, if you look at what denomination people are a part of, what cars people tend to drive, even how you dress, a lot of that can be traced back to what your parents did or whoever it was that you looked up to when you were younger. Yeah. Like my dad, he used to wear Obsession, I believe was the name of it, right?
Calvin Klein Obsession.
I'd always remember, and what I saw myself doing when I was younger and started to wear cologne was I would dab, you know, whatever I saw him do, how he did it, you know what I'm saying? That's all I was familiar to. That's all I was exposed to,
right?
You know, and even to the extent of, you know, people just get what they feel other people will like on them, or what they saw the commercial ad. People don't know what works best for their skin.
For their body type.
Yeah, for their body type, for their pH balance or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's a lot of different things that work well for you that may not work well for others. And so even being educated on what kind of fragrances work best for your body, and your natural scent,
right?
And not, like you said, not overdoing it, bro. You most times, especially young men, I can only speak from young men, you know, we would do all this other stuff because we wanted the ladies to smell it. And it's kind of like, yeah, they smell it, but it's like they smell it too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Strong, it's kind of like being able to, I feel like you said it earlier, less is more. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that if they close enough for you to smell it in the first place, that means, you know, you having a conversation, you doing whatever, but you don't want to push them away by overdoing it.
Yeah, by being overpowering. And so a quick tip, whenever you're, those of you who are listening and watching, whenever you are applying your fragrance, what you want to do is you want to put it on your pulse, what they call your pulse points. That's what your pops was doing. You put it on your pulse points, which on your skin is the hottest part of your body. So you put it where you can feel your pulse on your neck.
I just did it because my dad did. I didn't know.
Yeah, and on your wrist.
That's good.
Because the science behind it is, and the thought behind it is rather, is that the heat will intensify the smell on your pulse points, and it's not overpowering. So if you do a spray, and then once on your wrist and dab, you know, the heat will help intensify and make it last a little.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's the science behind that kind of application. But there's some other science that I think that people need to know about, man, as it relates to fragrances, and that's the notes of a fragrance. So
what do you mean by that?
So there are notes in a fragrance. There are 3 levels. When fragrances are being concocted and made, the 3 levels of molecular notes that they have, right? A top note, a middle note or a heart note, and a base note. Okay, and so the top note, what the top note is, it's a fragrance it's the part of the fragrance that's generally the lightest. It's when you first put it on is what you smell. So sometimes, you know, when you spray a cologne and it may smell a little bit alcoholic or it may smell a little too strong, when they say you gotta let it settle, it means you gotta let that top note die down a little bit, because that first part of it is what it is that you smell, and that's not always the full body of the fragrance, right? Common top notes, and think about this, are citrus, fruits, herbs, right? The those are kind of the strongest aromatics that you can have some lavenders and some lemongrass sometimes are in the top notes. They're the bottom level of the top notes. And then you have what are called the middle notes, right? Middle notes, they appear when the top note evaporates. So after that citrusy starts to die down is when you start getting that full body. Think about when you spray on something and it smells really, really strong at first. Right. And then or you're sampling it and you take the little sampler thing and you wave it back and forth. It's because you're letting.
I hope you don't do it like that, but go ahead.
Shut up. And you waving it back and forth and jerk.
Just saying.
And it starts to die down, and then a different smell or different fragrance or different part of the fragrance starts to open up.
Right.
This is known as the heart of the fragrance, right? And it's common fragrance or florals such as geranium, such as rose, such as chrysanthemum, lemongrass, right? Those are that it creates the full. Shut up! It creates the full body of, and that's the part that you smell the most. Is that middle note, and then as that even dies down even more, you spray it. You know how you put on cologne. And like on a sweater, right? And you don't wash your wool sweater every time you wear it,
right?
But you put on your cologne and then you put it up. You go back and get
it. Still smells like it.
You go back and get it. Like if you bought a really good fragrance, yes, it'll still smell like it. You go back and get it like 2 weeks later.
I can't get juke.
First of all, it's called Yope. That's how it's pronounced.
I'm
the hood we call it.
I was about to say in the hood we call it juke. Joop.
Jupe. Yeah, but it's pronounced Yope. But
jupe.
You're nuts. But that really good fragrance. And you come back some days later and you still smell it, but it smells even a lot warmer and richer. It's like, wow, that joker smell good because it's settled in. That's the base note you're smelling.
Okay.
Yeah. And what that base note does, when it mixes with the heart notes, it creates the full body of the fragrance. Common base notes are cedar woods, or sandalwoods, or vanillas and ambers, patchoulis, right? These kind of warm tones. The sweeter kind of warm tones that you smell are kind of the base notes. So when you look at trying to figure out what your body chemistry does, you have to know what smells good on your own skin based upon these notes.
So that's great. He broke down the scientific reasoning and all these peculiars and all these words that most of us probably don't even know. I would suggest, like a good friend of mine told me, go to Sephora, right? Get the samples. Ask them for different samples of different things. Now, if you're married or you have a girlfriend, take her with you. See what she preferably would like to smell on you. Because again, to me, I feel like fragrances aren't really for us. I mean, it's for other people. You're trying to impress other people by the way you smell. So if you have a specific someone that you're trying to impress, I would say take them with you. And then allow them to pick out a few fragrances that they like. And then you go to Sephora or somewhere like that and ask, can you get a few samples? They'll give you a little small bottle about that big. And then you can go ahead.
It's about 2 applications.
You can go ahead and that way you'll have at least 2 or 3 different fragrances that you don't have to buy initially right there on the spot. You can test them out. You can go home. You can try them out with different things. And then that way you can see what you like the best. And then you can go and make your purchase as opposed to just going and just buying what you heard somebody else say smells good on their boo or on this person. Figure it out for yourself. Get a couple samples. Figure some things out. Then go back and make a purchase. That's what I would say.
Yeah,
now, you can do the patchoulias and all that other stuff he was saying. But I really feel like that's not. All jokes aside, that's some really good information.
Yeah, and the reason I break it down like that is because once you start wearing and getting into fragrance, and you start getting into higher end fragrances, oftentimes that cost way more, but you use way less because they're way stronger. Your Creeds or your
Tom Fords.
Yeah, your Tom Fords or your Parfum de Marley's. These things that are costing $200 and $300 a bottle is because they're going to last you 2 or 3 years because you don't need
that much.
You don't need as many applications, but you want to know why you're paying that much money for a fragrance. Number one. Number two, you want to know what smells good on you so that you can say, okay, once you go back to a Nordstrom or you go to a Saks or you go to a Sephora and you say, listen, citrus stuff don't work for me. Florals don't work for me. I need something a little warm and with some patchouli or some cinnamon. They can say, oh, okay, cool. We'll go right over here because they're trained in that. Instead of you spending 40 minutes trying to spray and then shake
smell
it
the
off,
coffee beans,
smell the coffee beans, spray, and now you got a headache once you leave the store.
Right, and you don't want no cologne.
Yeah, exactly. You wasted 45 minutes.
I'm just gonna get some
right,
some body spray.
Right, yeah, some Axe or something.
I'm gonna get some Axe.
So this is why you want to break it down and know the notes and what's in them because it eventually, you'll be able to make informed decisions about when you want to switch up your fragrance. Like I have 3 signature fragrances that I always rotate, right? Really 4. Yves Saint Laurent, L'Homme.
I have that one in my mind.
You're nuts. Old school Issey Miyake. Never. Will
I mean, yeah. Now you can't.
Never
You can't go wrong. You can't go
never
wrong
will
with
run out
that.
of Issey Miyake, right?
You can't go wrong with that.
Paco Rabanne 1 million. And Polo Red. Those are my 4 that I will always have. I've never, but I know what I want to wear when I want, and I know what works for my chemistry. So because of that, I can, when I want to go out, when I want to veer outside of those 4, and I want to go get something that has a tobacco note or a little one, I know that I can go to Parfums de Marly and get Pegasus, or I know I can go to get Bond number 27. You know what I'm saying? Like because I know the notes of it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when it's time to go get them, I say, listen, I need this, and I need something with this and this, and oh, you know what? We have this, to be able to really push that fragrance. So I think it's important that you know. And then, you know what? I gave all this information, but I forgot to say something. I forgot to say something before that.
What's that?
Cologne is necessary.
I believe so. Unless your wife is pregnant.
Yeah. Because then
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, then the sneezing and
no cologne if your wife
the
is
stomach
pregnant.
aches
Can't
and
do
all
it.
of that.
Can't
Yeah,
do it.
you know. And so it's about getting a high quality cologne, and oftentimes high quality colognes have a high dollar amount to them, a price tag to them, and so you're trying to figure out why you want to pay that, or you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay for it.
And in saying that too, it's an investment because the higher end colognes, like you said, you'll be able to use them a lot longer than you would if you went to the gas station and bought a little bottle of Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Which doesn't smell that bad, by the way.
It doesn't, but it doesn't last.
So I've heard.
It doesn't last. So if you are though looking at buying these high dollar ones that you're trying to figure out how, you need to contact the Houston Housewives of Finance. In fact, they sponsored this portion of the show.
Oh man!
Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services.
Listen, I just want to say you deserve an award for the way you segue. It's pretty great.
I appreciate it, man. Just trying to be great, man. Just trying to be great.
No, you're doing a good job.
As you know, here at Just for Gentlemen, we want to present a quality product and also, you know, whatever endeavor that you embark upon, you want to do it right.
I will say that I really appreciate a show like this, and I wish, especially when I was just getting to college, like maybe, you know, junior, senior year of high school, but also just getting to college. I feel like that's where a lot of young men are trying to find themselves in a lot of areas. Like most people don't understand. Like I'm a grown man, and I know there's other grown men that don't have a concept of cologne outside of, well, I think I like this,
right?
Or knowing when to do too much and or when less is more. When you're dressing and when you're going to certain places, like that little small tip that you gave about look on the website or call like people need to know these things. I mean, it may sound like common knowledge to a lot of other people, but there are some people out there that are still trying to figure their way out as it relates to who they are as a person. And in saying that, how you dress, how you present yourself has a lot to do with who you are, who you are becoming.
Yeah.
You know, and even figuring that out, because you see when somebody puts something on and it may be a nice outfit, but it just doesn't fit them, and they're not confident in it. Versus when somebody puts something on and they just really are sure about themselves and what they put on, and regardless of what it would look like on somebody else, hey, this fits me a specific way. And so that has a lot to do with, you know, just how you present yourself.
Yeah, man. I think presenting yourself. We try to say that we're not so superficial. I think there's a fine line between being superficial and actually being cognizant and aware. Right, you know, people say a lot of detractors, and I run into a lot of guys that say it's not that serious, or I'm not superficial, or I don't need to buy a suit because I work, you know, construction, or I'm an alderman, you know, I'm a foreman at a warehouse, and that's not what I need to wear. And okay, I get it, but we have a responsibility as African Americans to our own community, and I even take this as a part of it. And it may be a little deep, but this is just the way I feel. I know that when I step out on the scene, I'm actually representing all black men.
Right.
To other folks. It is what it is. You know, that's the way we're wired. So if I'm going to step out on the scene, if I'm going to go to a business meeting, or if I'm going to go to brunch with my family, or if you and I are going to go golfing, you know, I'm going to look the best because I know that I represent black men. Yeah. You know, I am a walking word in that narrative of who we are, right? And so there's a responsibility there that I think gentlemen need to understand. Another responsibility that gentlemen have to understand. You mentioned it earlier. You said this term that I love, and it applies in fashion. That's less is more. And so when we talk about accessories, right? I think that's the number one rule.
That's good.
I think that's the number one rule. Let's back up to what is the number one in your mind? What is the number one menswear accessory?
I would say a watch.
A watch.
A watch.
A watch. And I didn't ask you
watch.
this on purpose because I wanted it to be an organic answer. I used to write for this really, really well-known blog, international blog, menswear blog. And when we had like a closed Facebook group. And when we would do the group, we would talk to a lot of the guys, and as in an effort to kind of figure out what it is they wanted to know about, what it is they wanted to kind of a research thing, but also to engage with them. And a lot when I don't have data, obviously hard facts. But I remember thinking, so many of these guys don't wear watches and don't even want or understand why they need to wear a watch. It is so like you're looking like really because we're kind of victims of our own circumstance and sphere of influence. Everybody we know puts on a dope watch. You know what I'm saying? It could be whatever. It's a dope. It ain't got to be name brand. It can be from Target as long as it's styled and dope. Right. Boys will put on a nice watch. Well, a lot of men just don't understand it, and I ran into and I have a guy that I knew from high school who recently came back around, and we reconnected, and fam just will not wear a watch. He says there's no need for it because he has a phone now to tell him the time. Okay, I understand the logic, right? But a watch at this point is more than just a timepiece. It's more than it's to me. It speaks about the power and the confidence of a man,
especially when you start to deal in the corporate world and you starting to make major deals, and like people notice stuff like that. Women notice it and other men notice
Absolutely.
it. You know what I'm saying? They're looking to see what kind of person you are. They're looking to see what you take pride in or some things that you really enjoy. Like my brother-in-law, I'm not as well versed in watches as like you or a lot of other people know, but my brother-in-law, in his room, man, he has probably about 18 just different cases of watches. Like, and he's like, well, I wear this watch when I'm trying to close a deal. I wear this watch when I'm trying to impress some new clients. I wear this watch when I'm going out, but I still want to make a statement.
Right.
And every single watch means something different. And depending on who the demographic of the crowd that he's around, people will notice. Yeah. People will come. A man came up to him in the airport and asked him, like, hey, man, is that a so-and-so? I forgot the exact name of the watch. Is that a so-and-so? He's like, no, it's close, but it's not the actual one. And he's like, oh, I have that one on. Yeah, I thought it was the same one. And his watch was like $50,000. Right. Yeah. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not blessed in highly favor like that. But, you know what I'm saying? Just to know that there's a whole demographic of people out there that are specifically looking like, oh, that's a so-and-so and so-and-so.
Right.
And it does this and it does that. It opens you up to a whole new, like when we go golfing, it opens you up to a whole new world of people that you didn't even know existed.
Absolutely. So the number one menswear accessory is watches, right? I would agree with you. It's not rings, it's not necklaces, it's not wedding rings. Everybody isn't married. Everybody doesn't want to wear a necklace. I get it. But I think every man should have two good watches. I think there should be two solid watches.
I agree.
But what as it relates to accessories, we mentioned this fact last week. You want to keep them up high. You want to keep them like above your waist. Honestly, above. Obviously on your wrist is different, but otherwise above your waist, because it makes people scan up and down, and you'll look taller. Most men who aren't our height or taller want to be taller. We're just blessed to be tall. But when you keep them up high, it keeps the focus at your lapel or at
so
your
what do you
eyes.
mean exactly, though, for those that are listening? What do you mean by keep them up high?
So wherever you wear your accessories, wear them up high. Wear the necklaces, lapel pins, dope frames on your glasses. You know, if you wear earrings, make sure that your earrings don't dangle too long. You know what I'm saying? And
you don't want the LTs, you don't want the Lawrence
you know,
Taylors.
we're gonna leave let Lawrence and the New York Giants keep it there. You see what I'm saying? You know, let Mr. T and keep it with the A team. You know, we the B team now. You know,
You don't want that Kazam Michael Jordan
nah,
hoop.
I'm cool. No.
Okay.
Oh my God, I need him to get rid of that. Anyway, and number two, less is more.
Yeah.
Like when you have your chains, less is more.
Tell Migos that.
Fellas,
Now, I
shout out to you, right?
Wait.
Shout out to you.
Hey, segue. All right, float on the. Anyway, listen. Like when you have like 27 chains on, right? Do you put them on all at once? Like, do you? Hey, hand me that one. All right, hand me the herringbone. Hand me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hand me the
Or is
Rolex.
Can you go somewhere? Does, you know, Johnny or somebody make it where they just it all
Clap
clips
like,
together?
I wouldn't know. But what I do know is that it looks crowding on your neck. I know the young cats like to do it, and it even in certain instances it actually works. It works for their demographic.
I mean, it works for them because they're on stage and they can afford certain things. Now, if I see
a school teacher
Tyrell, and he's in the 10th grade, and he got like 15 chains,
knock it off. First of all, stop shopping at the dollar store.
You
can't afford
you
all
went to
that.
Sharpstown,
Right?
and you got that. So
And so number three, remember that accessories are a good way to add color. Accessories aren't just jewelry. It's not just rings and watches and necklaces. It's lapel pins. It's pocket squares. It's you know, they're a great way. It's tie clips, colorful tie clips on skinny ties. This is a great way to add color because you can wear a plain gray suit, which people may say are boring, but you put a really well-crafted, bright, bold pocket square with it and a nice tie that complements it, and the suit looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Or you put some dope socks on, you know what I'm saying? Leave the shirt open to the second button, put a nice red lapel pin on, a small red lapel pin on, and it changes the whole look. It adds some color to it.
and like you said, less is more. Like it can be just something very simple,
Very simple.
but you know what I'm saying. It's something that's noticeable.
I'm actually over the big lapel flowers. Like I had a bunch of. I have a bunch, but I don't wear them anymore. I'm kind of over the big ones. Like I want something that's really minimalist, clean, but you can notice it.
And
though.
you know what I'm going back to now? Like before, everybody would wear the nice pocket square. They would tuck it in, or I hated when people would have it hanging out.
I never
it
liked
was,
that. Yeah.
Anyway, and then after that though, for a long period of time, everybody just went to the basic white
Yeah, straight fold.
straight fold. I'm almost back to. I kind of want to go back to a nice, detailed pocket square.
Yeah, agreed.
And I'm not talking about the ones you stuck in and they're a certain design, they're a triangle or this or that.
Right.
Like something you just tuck in there nice and neat. You know what I'm saying? And but something that really
It's
makes
crisp.
the outfit
Yeah,
pop.
it's crisp,
You know what
absolutely.
I'm saying? Like
And-
I'm almost back to that again.
I agree, man. Agreed. Number 4, don't overdo mixed metals. Now, what do I mean? You know, when you have a watch, you might have a silver and gold watch, right? A chrome and gold watch. And then you're wearing a silver or a platinum or white gold, or even a stainless steel wedding ring, and then you have on a gold bracelet.
Yeah,
and
no.
then you have on a silver and gold neck. Like it's like.
See, then I gotta question your judgment.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
100%.
I just feel like you all over the place.
100%, because it becomes dizzy. It's dissifying.
Yeah.
So if you have shut up. If you have a mixed metal watch, right? Pick one of the metals. Pick the chrome or the gold, or pick the black or the chrome or whatever it is, and just let the rest of your accessories, whatever you're wearing, go with that. But don't try to match the accessories at every turn because it becomes too busy
overdoing it.
and it's
Overdoing
overdone. So don't overdo the mixed metals, man.
And it's important that you're saying all these things because people pay attention to this stuff.
Yeah.
That is the reason why you're wearing this stuff in the first place. People pay attention to this. So if you want to impress not only yourself, you know, I like to look good for me first and then everybody else. But make sure you just less is always more. I don't care what you're wearing, what accessories you have on. Less is always
Less
more.
is more with accessories. Less is more with cologne, with fragrances.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Less is more when it comes to design on glasses. Less is more when it comes to the type of hat you wear. Less is more because you want to be able to really make intelligent choices. when it comes to your menswear and when it comes to what you're wearing. Listen, B, we out of time, man. And I told you, it goes by really, really quickly, man. But I'm so excited that you came, and I appreciate you coming by, hanging out with us,
Hey,
man.
I appreciate you inviting me, man.
Yeah, how can everybody get a hold of you again?
Again, you guys can just on Instagram at Real Bmont, but also I have an organization called Forward and Beyond Fab. We have a website, www.forwardandbeyond.com. It's an after-school mentoring program, staff development, and leadership training, once a month community engagement events, as well as quarterly day trips and summer camps. Man, we're all about moving students forward so they can go and move others beyond. So that's the name of the organization.
Listen, I don't. What else do you say after that? Like, we talk style. We're gonna help change your kid's life. You know, we're just trying to be good. Good men in this community. But
yeah, man. Salute to you, man, for all you're doing. A lot of people don't know how hard you work, and you really care about not just style, but everything that encompasses style to the individual and what that does for them. And so I've seen you transform a lot of lives through style.
Appreciate it.
And so I just want to celebrate you for this show and every other entity that you have going on that people need to stay tuned for. So just really want to shout you out, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. The kid is real busy, but listen. We want to leave you with something. One piece of information, right? You can keep it gangster.
You can keep it gentlemanly.
But you can always keep it G.
Yes, sir.
Till next time.
Yes, sir.